specifically?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm a designer and architect by trade. I've had my own company for 25 years. And since the recession, though, I have not wanted to work at it because I was hit very hard. I guess I attracted that. I did.
It's all right. That's all right. I am this, but I don't want this.
Yes, well, now I'm sitting on a gold mine. A friend of mine who I designed a home for has gotten me involved in a company that sells energy that's derived from magnets. I mean, it's the most huge technological breakthrough. I feel like I'm sitting on a gold mine to tell the world about this, and the commissions are amazing, and I'm not doing anything about it. Why am I not doing anything about it? I've tried a few sales here and there, but I'm not like in it, and I want to be in it because I know it's good for me, but I'm not doing it.
Well, talk to us about it. So, is it a gimmick?
No.
Is it real?
It's real.
What have you witnessed?
I've witnessed the actual machine working. I've talked to the owners who have been to all over the world. The one CEO is a member of I Change Nations, which is a really big thing.
Would it be beneficial to people?
Absolutely.
Would it be beneficial to people in underdeveloped countries where there's no electrical grid?
Here too.
Would it be beneficial in many different applications?
Absolutely.
Do you think it is something that many, many people are looking for?
I believe so.
And so everything about it that we've talked about so far feels like something that is beneficial, and you are an uplifter. So what thoughts do you find yourself thinking that are slowing that momentum? Because so far, the conversation that we've had makes that statement illogical. But it's not illogical because you're feeling it. So what thoughts are you thinking that are contrary to these thoughts that we just discussed? People won't believe it. It costs too much money. We're just making this up. What thoughts are you thinking that are contradicting that?
Well, it goes back further.
In other words, I found this thing that everyone wants, that is well engineered, that has been developed enough that it's gone to manufacture, it's ready to be delivered. So this thing does exist that would benefit a lot of people, and I'm not excited about it because you either don't believe it, you don't believe something about it, you believe it's beneficial.
Yes.
What's the holdup? You've got a contradictory thought. What is it? Because if you didn't have a contradictory thought, you wouldn't be here today. You'd be out doing that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. What's coming to me right now is this goal that I made when I was in my 20s for, quote, without even knowing what the goal really was God realization.
Well, how do you feel about a gold mine? You said it's a gold mine. How do you feel about a gold mine? Gold mines,
I love the idea.
There was a gold rush, there's gold mines, gold buried deep down, hard to get, people die in the mine. Some people get gold, they hide gold, they get killed for their gold, they bury their gold, the government devalues the gold. So how do you feel about a gold mine? Or is this really a gold mine, or is it something different? Is a gold mine a sure thing?
No.
Lots of people looking for that gold. So maybe your label of it explains how you really feel about it. There are people who have gold mines on their property, been there for a long time. They never take the pick out to the garden. Might put a lot of energy into it, and you might not come up with any gold. Is there any of that in this?
I believe so, yeah. As we're talking, the guy that turned me on to it, he
didn't turn you on.
Well,
you're not turned on.
Yeah.
He might be turned on.
Yeah. He is actually, yeah.
But you're not yet. If you were turned
right.
on, you wouldn't be here. You'd be off.
I've done some work at it. I mean, through contacts that I have, I mean, I've presented it to people, and so far people aren't interested.
Because? Maybe they've already got electricity. Maybe you need to go where people don't have any.
Well, my buddy and the company, they have gone abroad to Dubai and to Bangladesh and all the South Africa and all these companies, and they just signed almost a $10 billion deal. My friend's commission is in the hundreds of millions of dollars for one deal with a country, and I have the opportunity for something like that, and why am I not like kicking butt?
Because you believe in their contract, you just don't believe in yours. Because it's just an idea for you, which is exactly what we're talking about here.
And I don't want that. I want to change that from an idea to reality.
But here's the thing. You want the reality to exist so that you can then observe it and have a conditional good feeling response to it. And that's backwards. You have to get excited about the idea. The momentum must get going while it's in the vibrational stage, or it can never come to fruition. A lot of people are hyping things by making presentations about a reality that doesn't exist yet, to get you to focus upon the reality that doesn't exist yet so that you'll get all excited about it. Now, in some ways, it's what we're asking you to do as you are here. But feel the difference. We don't want your creation to get bigger than your creation, because something's happening in them showing you all of this massive wealth. Something's happened within you that makes you not believe it. They made it too big to be real. They made it too big to be real.
Right.
That's why so often people will come have a conversation with us and they'll say, I just have this amazing, incredible, wonderful thing that I'm creating. And it's so big that they can't hook into it from where they are. That's why when we say, you want to be ready, 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 to be ready. So let's start. Let's go to a more general place and show you how you can be ready, to be ready, to be ready, to be ready. For example, we're just going to make some statements. This is the way you might say that we're talking you off the ledge, or we're talking you into some momentum. So, I believe in the power of thought. Do you?
Yes.
I believe in the power of thought. It's logical to me that a thought that is not contradicted is more powerful than a thought that is contradicted.
Yes.
I've thought both kinds of thoughts.
Yes.
I can witness straight away what my not contradictive thoughts that feel good to me yield in terms of my realization of them, and what my contradicted thoughts yield. And so I get it that I'm in charge of this energy flow. I can focus, and I have a guidance system that lets me know whether I'm focused in harmony with what I'm asking for, in harmony with what my inner being is all wrapped around, or in disharmony with what I'm asking for, in disharmony with what my inner being is all wrapped around. Because you may not have heard this if you've been watching so recently, but you actually have 2 points of attraction: the non-physical point of view, which is your source point of view, and your physical point of view. So from your physical point of view, as you look around the planet and you acknowledge that there is need for more making of energy, and you launch these rockets of desire of wouldn't it be nice if, and you flow thought energy toward it, you and billions of other people who are also wanting for there to be more economical energy, more well-placed energy, more energy that could be put in more places without the infrastructure needing to be so intense. This is the time for all of this. So as you've launched that rocket of desire, the human you, because you haven't not yet seen it come to be, probably has doubts about it, because when you're asking for something and you're asking how and where and when and who, well, when you ask those questions that you don't have the answers to, you introduce resistance into the equation. But when you just think about what you want and why you want it, it's for the good of humanity. It would make life better for so many people. It's a means of wonderful prosperity for me and for others. So as you think in those terms, now you harmonize with your own inner being. So what happens is this point of attraction gains momentum. This point of attraction gains momentum. Now, when you slip into your doubt, as you sometimes will, you'll feel the tug of that. And that's what negative emotion is. So you've got guidance that lets you know when you're working in harmony with your own desire and when you're working against your own desire. So in these general statements that we were making, I believe in thought, and I believe in focus, and I'm believing more and more every day in my ability to focus. I'm starting to believe that I can be or do or have whatever I choose, and I do know that it's a function of my focus. And I'm so happy to know that I have a guidance system within me that lets me know how I'm doing with that focus. And so when I feel negative emotion, I can know for sure that I'm working against that, and that I'm also slowing my momentum. So when I do that, I'm just going to step away as early as I can in the process from that thought that is detrimental to the process, detrimental to my momentum. And I'm going to remember why I thought this is a good idea, what it is about it that I like. You see, one of the things that we notice, we've been saying to you for quite a while, if you will take money out of the equation, you will release a tremendous amount of resistance. So let's talk about that just relative to this. If you say, I want to be of value to humanity, there's no resistance in your vibration. We know you want to be of value to humanity. When you say, I want to find ideas that are beneficial to mankind and to me, there's no resistance in that. But when you say, I'm going to make $1 gajillion and I'm going to do it all at once, there's tremendous resistance that comes. And so the very encouragement that they think that they are giving you is introducing, and that's what hype is. And we don't mean that it's not real, and we don't mean that it can't produce. We mean that they are overextending your ability to believe by putting so much money into the equation that you're contradicting the whole thing by your contradiction or your doubt that that much money is really available to you, because you've been working as an architect and you know what it takes to find people, and you know what it takes to make plans, and you know what it takes before the inspiration of those drawings comes. You've got a time per value equation going on with you. And when someone says, oh, all you have to do is just step over here and just pay attention to this and all of this is going to happen to you, you've got big time resistance going on, even though there may very well be something that is profitable and beneficial for you in it. But you've got to work your way into it until you don't have that contradicted tug of war going on. And a lot of times they'll say to you, and you got to believe, do you believe? Do you believe? Yes, I believe, I believe, I believe. Well, maybe you do and maybe you don't. But what you want to say to yourself is, whether it's this subject or any other, I want to become a vibrational match to my own intentions. And when I do, the leverage that I will accomplish will be unspeakable. Because when you access the leverage of the energy that creates worlds, amazing things do happen. And the story that they are telling you doesn't sound preposterous to us, but it sounds preposterous to you.
Right. Yes. Right.
Helpful?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Not really.
No?
So what do? Don't let your business get bigger than your business, which means if you dream a dream that you can't believe, you got to ratchet that dream back a little bit, or you got to ratchet your belief up a little bit. And in most cases, you've got to do a little bit of both. You've got to bring yourself into balance. Bring yourself into vibrational balance. I know that there are things that happen. I know that there are people that get in on the ground floor of things. I know that there are new energies emerging. I also know that there's government regulation and da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da. What you know, a belief is a thought that you continue to think. And so if a new idea comes to you and you just don't move toward it easily, we're talking about all of you relative to all things. If something new occurs to you and you don't move toward it easily, that means you've got beliefs that are not letting you move toward it. And a belief is just a thought that you continue to think. So you've got beliefs or a belief that is contradicting this new thought. You got to work